Welcome to the learning world. Something that we are going to learn, something which is going to inspire us, something which can become an inspiration. Well, my dear children, today we're going to talk on a very interesting topic which speaks about interest, which speaks about passion, which speaks about your life, which speaks about your future, your career. That's right. You can look on the screen that today we are going to talk all about jobs and work. Something which is going to change our life, something we have always aspired for. Well, today we are going to talk on this topic in a very interesting way. Although you will be just listening to me, in return I'll be giving you some activities which would help me and you to interact. Well, let us begin with the screen pages given on the screen. Let's start it off. Jobs and work. Our parents, our elders are working today. And like that, many people in the world are working. Some of them love their work. Some of them are passionate about their work. Somebody have dreamt about their work. Somebody continue the legacy of their families and make it as their own careers. Well, my dear children, work and jobs, this is something which is going to surround your world in the near future. And by now, I think you are having a sort of thought, a sort of passion which is brewing up in you so that you can take it into future. My dear children, this is the 21st century era where dreams, passions come into real existence in childhood itself. We see on TV many channels like MasterChef, like American Idol. We see shows wherein small children who are even younger to you are working, are following their passion, and are living their successful lives. This is the era where you have to gear up yourself to run your life in a successful manner and to get what you always dreamt of. In the class itself, we have many of our friends where some of their parents are doctors, engineers, accountants, business, managers, teaching, and so on. And some of us look forward and get aspired to become those what your parents or maybe your cousins have achieved, isn't it? Well, even when I was young like you, I was inspired to become something that I always wanted to. And then here I am teaching you today all about jobs and work. Well, there are many jobs which gives you name, fame, success, money. There are also some jobs which gives you a kind of relaxation as it might be your dream job too. And there are some jobs where you get something good in return, not maybe money, not maybe success, but something that gives your heart and your brain a type of relaxation. And that is called social work. Social work is something where we try to help people, we try to help others. And when we do good to people, we know that we get good in return. Well, coming back to the jobs. Now, there are so many types of jobs. Well, you can look over here. We have science teacher, a car mechanic, a police officer, a marine biologist, and a vet. Here we have also got pictures. Well, this is going to be a first homework. You have to take these jobs and you have to join it with the pictures which describe them. Well, in the last class, I have sent you videos of compound nouns and also of adjectives plus prepositions plus noun. Hope by now you have learned. Well, the joy is in the job. Exactly. If you love something that you always want to do, if you are passionate about something that you want to make it as a career, and you become successful in that, and you get a kind of achievement in it, then that is the best joyful thing that can ever happen to you. We have some jobs which is not so famous as doctors, engineers, lawyers, but they do play a very important role in our daily lives. Let us see what are these words: camera operator, reporter, presenter, director, weather forecaster. Well, when we see these words, it creates some kind of pictures in our mind, a pictorial representation of these words in our mind. Now, here there is a woman in the picture that you can see. Let us see, who is she? Well, when you look at the picture itself, half of the lesson itself gives you a clear idea who is she and what kind of job does she do. Now, let us read the text first. It is very important that whenever we start with any lesson, it's very important for us to read it, because 50% of understanding comes from reading itself. Another 50% goes with the explanation. Let us begin. I introduce the show and then I interview special children and some famous people too. It's like a chat show for kids. I like interviewing people who are talented, fun, and doing interesting things, whether they are famous or not. And that's all. That's not all I do. When we are off air, I do a lot of reading. I found out all about our guests so that I know what I'm talking about when I interview them. I love my job because I met so many fascinating people, especially children. Every day is different and never boring. Also, I often get to travel to different parts of the country to interview people who are doing interesting things. To do my job, you need to be enthusiastic about people and their lives. You need to ask questions that make your guests give interesting answers. You must have lots of energy and not look like you are tired on camera. You need to be confident because the camera is on you all the time. And you need to be good with children, especially friendly and calm, so they feel comfortable enough to talk to you easily. And you need to be knowledgeable too, so that you can interview people well. Well, can you guess who is she and what kind of job does she do? Well, you're exactly right. She is a TV reporter. The ones that we see daily whenever we open our TVs and we watch news. These reporters do play a very important role. And why? Because these are the ones who give us information about the world, what is going on in the world. We know about people, whether if they are famous or not. We come to know about people around the world through news. We also come to know about certain things which is going on in different parts of the world. And also we have many students in our class who belong from different parts of the world. And I'm sure that your parents and you always look at the news so that you're very well aware about what's going on in your country, in your place, near your people, around you, so on. Well, news reporters do play a very important role. They introduce the show, they interview children, they interview famous people. It's like a chat show for kids. While while these news reporter interview, what is an interview? Interview is something where a person is asking question to the other person, and in return the person is giving answers so that people become aware, people become informative, and also this sometimes gives spark to something good and also something to bad. We get to see about entertainment, politics, kids show. We also see people, their conditions. We see famous people, famous singers, actors, how they rise up from a normal living person to becoming famous, and how they are passionate about, and so on. And where do we get all this information so easily? We get it from these news reporters. They bring news which kind of entertains us, which kinds of increase our general knowledge. Well, the interviewers, the people like them, the news reporters, they love to interview people who are talented, fun, and love doing interesting things, whether they are famous or not. Well, today we have got many apps like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. These are social media apps that we use on a daily basis, isn't it? Well, if any video which is kind of makes you feel interesting and the people in around the world, that particular video becomes famous within a day, isn't it? And it it gives them a lot of name, fame also. Even on YouTube, nowadays there are many people who make videos which kind of gives you relaxation, which creates interest in you. And when such YouTubers, okay, the ones who make videos on YouTube are called YouTubers. When we see such people and their videos, and when we like it, okay, and when people like us like those videos, the person who was creating those videos, who was giving us information about his life and wherever he's roaming around, if people liked it, it's sure that he's going to get a name, fame, success. Well, there are so many YouTubers, and I know for sure that you watch YouTube and you love it. Even on Instagram, if any photos are good, interesting, funny, and if it's liked by the world, it becomes famous. Instagram famous, isn't it? Well, let us continue with our lesson. Well, she not only does news reporting, but when she is off from her duty, she does a lot of reading to find out all about her guest so that she knows what she is talking about when she's interviewing them. Well, the news reporters, when they meet someone who is very famous, who is very well known personality, who is going to inspire many young children like you, it becomes very important for the news reporters to study about those people at first, and then only to interview those people. Why? Because when the news reporter would put forward some questions to the person who you would love to watch or who is going to inspire you, the news reporter has to be very sure that whatever she is going to ask is correct. The information that she will be having with her is 100% correct. Also, that you are going to believe it because we all depend and rely on news reporters at one point of our time. Well, let us see why she loves her job. I love my job because I meet so many fascinating people, especially children. Well, she loves children a lot, it seems. Every day is different and never boring. How it can be boring when they get to know so much in written. Also, I often get to travel to different parts of the country to interview people who are doing interesting things. Well, this is one of the plus points of a news reporter. If they work well, they get a chance to travel around the world, to get news from in and around the world, to get to meet famous personalities that we all actually dream of. And it's not easy to just meet off any famous personality as we have become a news reporter, and it's not just normal. You have to work hard to become something, to become famous, to become well known. But it should always be in a good manner, no matter what, without hurting anybody, without creating problems. To do my job, you need to be enthusiastic, that means energetic, about people. You have to be excited to know about the people and the life they live. You have to ask so many questions to the person who you're going to talk to, and so you have to be mentally prepared. Well, when we see a news reporter, okay, and when you see me as a teacher, let us first complete the lesson and then we will talk about what these two jobs have similarities in. You need to ask questions that make your guest give interesting answers. You must have lots of energy and not look like you're tired on camera. That's so true. Have you ever seen news reporters being tired? You see many news reporters visiting different places which might be even dangerous. And you get so fascinated and you're so excited to see all of them, that how could they go on such an adventurous trip, and what kind of energy they have. And whenever we see them on camera, even if it's on day, night, or in the morning, we see them, they're very energetic, they're very enthusiastic about the news they're giving in. So my dear children, every work has got its own kind of hard work, its own kind of training, learning process. You need to be confident because the camera is on you all the time. And you need to be good with children, especially friendly and calm, so that they are feeling comfortable enough to talk to you easily. And you need to be knowledgeable too, so that you can interview people well. Well, just a few seconds ago, I was talking about how my job, that is the teaching job, and the job of the news reporter are similar, or you can say walk together hand in hand. Well, when you see the news reporter, and when the news reporter gives some kind of information to you, you trust, not only you, all of us trust upon it, isn't it? Even when the teacher is teaching in the class, you people trust the teacher by thinking that the information that my teacher is giving is 100% correct, isn't it? You see the teacher that she isn't using the books to give you any additional information. Rather, she prepares herself with all the knowledge that she is going to teach you before she would enter in the class. Same like the news reporter would study about the famous person who she's going to interview on the very next day, or maybe well in advance. The teacher, when she comes in the class, she never opens her book or she sees her book. She comes, she starts off the lesson, and she explains to you without looking at her textbook. Isn't it? Well, we also see news reporters without carrying any sort of paper. They speak it without looking and only after understanding certain things. Even you always see the teachers who come in your class, even if it is 3 periods in one go, 2 periods in one go, you never see her or him tired. Why? Because it's part of their job. If a teacher is kind of tired, or if she's talking something which is not making you feel interested, do you listen to her? Or do you understand what she wants to tell you? No. Why? Because the teacher itself might be tired, or she might be talking something that doesn't interest you. Even when we open our TV, okay, and when we see some TV channels, when we go through some TV channels, we see what is interesting. If there is something boring going on, we're going to just change it off, isn't it? Even the news reporters, they can't be tired. Even if they're tired, they don't show that they're tired. All the time, they have to be confident, interesting, just like the teachers, so that you could feel interesting to see them and to listen to the news that they want to give you. Well, my dear children, all kinds of job have their own struggles. Don't think that if we have a particular job which is going to give you everything that you need, it is going to be, you think that it is going to be as easy as it is, but it isn't. You have to really work hard to become something that you always want to become. Well, my dear children, this is the end of this particular lesson. Now, let us move on forward with the next page, which is going to talk in detail about the jobs. Well, my dear children, here we are speaking about different types of job. Well, how do we guess these different types of job? First, we're knowledgeable about them, isn't it? Second, the look, the dressing style is all that speaks about the profession of the person that he or she is doing. Well, here I'm going to give in some words where you can easily guess the dress codes of the people who do different jobs or different work. Well, when we see a doctor, we always see a doctor wearing a white coat, very good. And we see them having stethoscope around their neck, isn't it? Well, when we see a police officer, we see him in a uniform which makes him look fit, a cap on his head, a kind of stars on his shoulder which shows his position. When we see a chef, we see a chef wearing an apron, a big cap, which gives a kind of feeling of chef. When we see a nurse wearing a shirt, a long shirt, and a pant, which is mostly either of green or white in color. We see a firefighter whose dress is like a jumpsuit. It can be of different colors, but you see a cap, which is kind of a plastic cap. It's like an oval shaped cap, a dress which is completely joined, and they have got always different accessories. When you see different people working in different sectors, you see different styles, you see different dress codes, you see different things that they always carry around them. When you see a business person, you see them in uh, blazers, or maybe normal pant shirt even too. So here, here we have this person who whose uniform has got different things, which is something that gives us a brief idea about what kind of job he does. Well, there is a box over here wherein you have to match these words with the position of the uniform, which is given in the form of letters. And this is also something that you're going to do. So, my dear children, today we spoke about a really interesting topic. Something which was not bookish, was something which was very interesting, which you would love to learn, love to hear, and love to talk on. Well, your homework is first, that I have already mentioned in the video. Second homework is this page that you're looking right now. You have to name them. Third homework, you have to present. It can be in the form of audio video. You have to talk on the thing that makes you feel passionate about, that is your dream, which you want to be in the near future. You also have to talk about in it what information have you gathered, who is your inspiration, who makes you feel that you can take on this passion as your career. You have to talk about what difficulties you might face while taking on this passion. It might be easy also, it might be difficult also. But you have to speak all on your passion that you love to do, the people who inspire you, how easy it is to get there, and what kind of knowledge you have about the passion that you want to be. This will be done either in the form of audio or video. I'll be giving you 2 to 3 days to present this. This audio or video will be presented in the group. And let us see what kind of passions you have. My dear children, this is the end of today's session. See you soon with something new and something that we are going to continue.